All right. Hey, everyone. So I can run my camera now since I'm not going to be running Photoshop. But I just wanted to go over the survey with you guys just to give you some feedback on some of my thoughts and give you all an idea of kind of where you are in the grand scheme of your classmates. So it was interesting to see the responses. Some of you guys made me laugh. So first, how much experience do you have with traditional mediums such as drawing, painting, and sculpture? Looks like this class is split into thirds, right? About a third of you have never really picked up any traditional media before. A third of you have responded with a little bit. You have some experience, and then another third of you are moderate and capable with some drawing medium. So that's good. We have a wide array of folks to work with here. Next, how much experience do you have with Mac or PCs? Most of you seem pretty familiar. About half of the group said that you guys knew how to troubleshoot and knew how to set things up for specific apps. About 30% of you say average use, which is good. And then I have I have somebody that told me to get on their level, so that was good. I was interested to see that, but it looks like most of us seem fairly familiar, so that's good. How much experience do you have with Photoshop? Now this was the widest disparity here. I would say, most of you have said that you have played around with it a little bit in the past, but didn't really know much beyond that. So that's okay. About a quarter of you have never touched it before at all. So that's good. That gives us a foundation to work with. And 20% of you said that you were pretty comfortable with it. You've done a few things with some clipping masks here and there. 2 of you told me to get on your level here, so this should be interesting. And then, then the remaining few were in the middle there. So that's good. And for those of you that have more experience, some of this beginning stuff is going to be pretty, I don't know, might be a slower pace for you, but still pay attention. You might figure out things that you may have forgotten or things that maybe you didn't know at all. So we will start with this foundation, but we will move into the more advanced advanced functions of Photoshop, and we'll get into some really fun, cool projects. But for the time being, those of you that have some digital Photoshop experience, just again, hang in there, and we will get to these things that will be more challenging for you. But for those of you that have never used Photoshop, that's good. I'm basically I'm starting this class out from, right from the beginning and getting you familiar with the UI first. Let's see, most of you, for what things you'd like to learn from this class, a huge variety here. Looks like a lot of you are interested in, sorry, I'm kind of looking at my phone here at the same time. A lot of you are interested in photo manipulation as far as matching skin tones, editing photographs. Looks like we have how to remove, a lot of you are interested in removing elements from photographs seamlessly. So when we get to the clone stamp tool and spot healing, we'll be doing things like that. Some of you are interested in website design, which we'll do some stuff later on with infographics that you might like. A lot of this seems to be photography based, so that's good. That's what we're starting with here. And then some of you, basically said everything. I want to learn everything about Photoshop. That's good. I'll try to teach you as much as I can. I don't know if I can teach you everything, but I'll teach you a lot. This one, so I will have regular access to a computer. Most of you said yes, but there are 2 of you that said no or occasionally. Now, this does cause me some concern. I can't drop you from the class, but if you are not going to have regular access to the internet in Adobe and a Mac, you might want to think about how you're going to get this work done in the course. Virtually everything is going to be done through Laulima. All of our assignments are going to be done back and forth, submitted through Laulima, and Photoshop obviously is absolutely necessary. If you don't have Photoshop, then I don't see any way that you could take this course. So email me if you have a specific question, but if you feel confident that your internet and Photoshop and Mac access will be enough and sufficient to take the course, then I leave that on in your hands. But again, I would strongly recommend, if you don't have access to those things regularly, you may want to consider dropping, because I don't know how you would get that work done otherwise. When it comes to the careers that you all are interested in, I was happy to see a wide range here. Most of you are looking to get into graphic design, print media, visual developer, concept artist, character designer, game design, graphic design. So lots of graphic design. Some photography. Some of you are aspiring photographs. Let's see, marketing, editing, photo design. So it looks like more than half of you, most of you are looking to get into client-based work, which is good. So we will have some client-based projects that we'll be working on. So graphic design, client-based work, marketing. That looks to be what most of you are interested in. When it comes to digital and traditional art, I asked you if you felt there was a distinction, and you all were split half and half. Half of you said they were exactly the same thing, and half of you said you have no idea. Somewhat of a trick question. I don't think there's a proper answer to that. I certainly won't be the one to tell you that they are different or they are the same. That's more for me just to get a sense of who my students are and what they think about the fine arts and graphic design. But my personal opinion, I think they're the exact same thing. It's the same ideas, the same concepts, everything that we're talking about now with composition and balance and emphasis and focal points. These are all applicable to paintings or digital media or brochures or flyers or sculptures, right? It's the principles of art that we're interested in. So if you want my opinion, I feel they're the exact same thing. I also asked you all to get a better insight into how you all as students learn. So the thing about face-to-face classes is I can get a lot of that interaction with you, and I can have conversations with you, and I can get a sense of where your creative strengths are, where your technical strengths are. So I asked this more to get a sense of who you all were, and this was probably the most diverse answer out there, right? So there will be a combination. I mean, we're going to have open and creative projects, and we're going to have tight technical projects, right? I'm going to try not to skew too hard in one way or the other. I think it's important to be able to do technical exercises to demonstrate capability with the mediums, but I also think it's important that you all have open and creative projects that give you some space to grow conceptually. So I'll try to be integrating both, but it looked like I had a pretty big array of responses here, pretty much split 25%, 25%, 25%, and 25% between the four answers that I gave you. Close to it, at least. I mean, there's some variation there. And then contemporary artists, it's interesting. I've been looking at these and some of the things that you've been looking at, and I've found these to be quite interesting. Again, that was just more for me to get to know you all better as a group. So thank you for doing the survey. Again, it was helpful for me to understand where you are. Teaching face-to-face is much different than online, but I feel like we have a good class and we have a nice big group of people and a good range of interests. So looking forward to getting started with you all. Be sure to check your Lau Lima site daily. I will be adding some things up on there for a weekly exercise that we're going to continue. And again, email me if you have questions, but let's make it a habit to be constantly checking I will put announcements up, or I will email the group when I do significant changes, but you'll see from the first week to now, I've organized it a little bit better. So when you go into lessons, there's a tab for week 1 and then a tab for week 2, whereas before it was all the stuff for week 1 and then all the stuff for week 2. So this way it just gives you a bit more, it's a bit more organized. You can click into week 1 and then you can see all the things that we've been doing for week 1, and then week 2, and then week 3 will be forthcoming. So, okay, I will talk to you guys here shortly. I'll be putting up some more information for week 2.